The following program is a production of KHET in Honolulu, Hawaii Public Television.
The following program has been funded in part by grants from the Hawaii State Foundation on Culture and the Arts and the people of Chevron in Hawaii.
Speaking of the heat, just a few days of summer left. Well, not here, but we have snow in Montana.
Hello there, I'm Michael Jackson. This is Talk Radio, and this hour, some issues controversial. But again, the spotlight turns on the Catholic Church. Some friendly and some not so friendly, as we'll discuss.
Major League Sports. Mike? Massive traffic jam in the H1 yesterday. Closed the Everbound lanes of the freeway at the start of the rush hour for about an hour.
It's about 13 minutes before the 9 o'clock hour. You're in tune to Hawaiian Radio KCCN with Brother.
The radio airwaves of Hawaii carry dozens of messages. From Hawaii, about Hawaii.
Constitutional rights of the citizens of Hawaii were suspended until the federal courts finally made them come in.
And to Hawaii.
1 in a million. Nancy Wilson tonight on The Larry King Show, plus your phone calls. All on this mutual radio station.
It is a medium that must choose its role.
Television is like newspaper. It's a mass media with a little something for everybody. Radio as a medium is a narrow casting medium, and they segment demographically, that is by age, to certain areas of the population. The rock and rollers go at the youth market, and so on. Everybody picks a segment.
In the studios of KGU, the role of news and information has become their specialty.
That's from 3 to 4 this afternoon. Right now, in studio, we're going to discuss the Great Hawaii Pesticide Cover-Up. That's our topic. We're featuring retired University of Hawaii scientist and biomedical researcher Jim Setliff.
In Hawaii, there seems to be a greater need to hear the other side of the news than there is in most markets. There is a greater element of, that's what they say happened, but I want to know what really happened. And television news does not have time for that, and nor do most of the mediums.
If it weren't for the news media, I think we would have been drinking heptachlor-contaminated milk all through it and never really realized it. Looking back, we found out that the heptachlor was in the milk for approximately a year before the first recall. And we certainly know that for almost 3 months the health department knew about it.
We try to provide a forum for the people in Hawaii to talk to the newsmaker and air their views.
If you have a question or comment or your thoughts on the matter, the phones are open. Give us a call at 926-8255. That's 926-TALK. Neighbor Islands, call us collect. I'm Bill Maniaci. You're listening to Information Radio for Hawaii, News Talk 76, KGU. Let's take some calls. Gloria is calling in from Maui. Good afternoon.
I have 3 quick questions.
KGU's news and information is directed at those people that are more involved in their community than others, perhaps. It gets very emotional. There are people like during the Beach People episode where we had people on the air that have never had a chance to tell their side of the issue before, and they get very emotional. Freedom of speech is alive as far as they're concerned because of the opportunity to get on the air and say what they've never had a chance to say before.
All right, Gloria, thank you very much. Jim?
Well, thank you. I'd like to...
Their comments had been edited out for evening news report or had been quoted out of context in newspaper, but this is their one chance to get on and say what they have to say and without interruption, without any editorializing. And that's very important on occasion.
If you'd like to participate this afternoon, plenty of lines open. 926-8255, the number to call. That's 926-TALK. Let's go to our newsroom now for an update on what's happening locally with Andy Vieira. I'm Bill Maniaci. This is Hawaii's news source, News Talk 76, KGU.
KGU News, I'm Andy Vieira. Democratic City Councilwoman Patsy Ming cut short a meeting.
KGU is the only local radio station with a federally sanctioned emergency broadcast system. When power is lost on Oahu due to a hurricane or other phenomena, KGU is enabled to give emergency warning procedures from this bunker at the base of their broadcast tower. KGU is also the oldest radio station in Hawaii.
Radio is a part of people's life. It's like a weather report. It's like a time server. It's part of what everybody accepts as their routine. KGU has been here for 63 years, and it's part of what everybody grew up with.
How come a rear admiral is in the restaurant business?
Entertainment director Charles Peck often takes listeners years back with a nostalgic radio program on KGU's classic radio time.
I play something and they call up and they say, oh, I haven't heard that in years. You know, it's been 30, 40 years since I heard that voice. And it brings back memories, and that's what we're trying to do.
Another one of KGU's symbols of continuity is their local authority on Hawaiiana, Chubby Mahoe, seen here with his friend Joe Recca.
Now there's a word that I've always trusted, the word authority. Whenever I've seen it in print or whenever I've referred to someone in the authority position, I've never seen myself. I've always seen myself as a student, a haumana, always willing to learn, always willing to be corrected. But it seems in the short year that I've been in radio that it's been a lifetime. We've got the trust of a number of people that depend on us to give news correctly, to pronounce our Hawaiian words correctly, and to put history in its right perspective. But I also appreciate our kupuna, or Joe, a person that I trust.
Are you calling me kupuna?
No, our good kupuna's grandparents. Our good kupuna, Auntie Nakua Stevens, Auntie Vicky E.E.
Yes.
These people will take
our
time.
Parents, our mothers, are, you know, that's important. You know,
and they found out that we're listening. They were finally talking again.
Yeah.
They were finally impressing on us the importance of this generation getting it right and doing it correctly for the next generation to come.
Muhammad, it's nice to see you here again today.
Well, thank you, Mr. Cosell. It's nice to be here. What do you want to talk to me about today?
These voices were done by a man who brings many people to radio, but rarely his own voice. When asked why he went into the radio business, Billy Sage replied,
Well, I think it was probably a lack of vitamin C. And for that reason, I had to go. I knew that they would drop a lot of orange peels on the floor of the studio, and I was just looking to get in on the ground floor and not lose my teeth in the process.
Billy Sage once worked as a comedy writer for the most eminent radio personality in Hawaii.
Yeah, I guess Aku was my mentor, really, to speak seriously. He was a little bit more liberal with his sprinkling of Anglo-Saxonisms off the air than he was on. I guess this is sort of a hallmark of one who's had to watch his mouth on the air for so many mornings. But aside from his rather peppery phrasing, he was a very, very wise individual. And he said, he gave to me, he said, the secret of good broadcasting and maintaining ratings. This is Aku's main secret. And it might not sound like much, but when you think about it, it's eloquent, it's simple, and for him it worked. I don't know if it's ever worked for anybody else. Maybe it'd have to be him to carry it off. But he said, Billy, you know my secret is I beep people off. That's right, I just beep them off enough, and they keep listening. I have guys call me up every morning saying, I'll never listen to your beep beep show again. And the same guy calls me up and says the same thing the next day, over and over again.
I even talk with my feet, see? No, I don't. I cannot cruise like that. I wish I could cruise like that, but unfortunately, everything is fast, quick-paced. We try to avoid dead air.
Hello, hi, KCCN.
In the studios of KCCN, Honolulu's Hawaiian music radio station, bare feet are not uncommon. But in Hawaii, an all-Hawaiian music format is unusual.
We are the only one in the world. It's a unique position that we have behind
KCCN manager Ronnie Hope knows her audience.
We have always been a strong men's station. We have a large visitor audience.
Opening up the day at KCCN is their morning team, Brother Brother.
This thing is all the way in. Look, I'm pressing this and it works.
And Uncle, here giving his listeners a highly scientific weather report.
8 sunshine day. Yeah. That's my back. I hurt that playing tennis with Hana Mandlikova.
Uncle is otherwise known as Phil Upton, and brother is James Grant Benton.
First day in radio, I just kind of turned it on and I just could give the call letters and then turn it off. And I just went, wow, what did I get myself into? Get him. Actually, it was kind of scary at first. When I turned it on, it was like I didn't know who I was talking to. And so the microphone definitely intimidated me. And from time to time, it still does. It's now a theater of the mind, you know, and I have to at least sort of try and picture myself sitting in a car early morning, at home, brushing your teeth, waking up, rolling out of bed, you know, I don't want to go work today and stuff, and I have to be up, so I have to picture myself and put myself in their place. It's very personal. You know, people could be in the bathroom, you know, with the radio on, and, you know, I'm right in there with them, you know. Oh, there's my song. It's Melvin Lee and Wild Kiani here on KCCN, about 10 minutes away from the 9 o'clock hour, and we're going to go into the newsroom and see what's happening with Uncle Phil. And the news mostly with Uncle and I, it's mostly spontaneous improvisation. I like to be on the edge like that. That's why I like to take live phone calls. I don't like pre-planned stuff. I like to just jump in the water. It's cold, you know, all right.
Before coming to KCCN, Uncle Phil Upton spent many years in the Navy, working for the Armed Forces Radio and TV.
The last assignment was kind of interesting, and because it was as the head cheese of radio and TV in Saigon, just before we pulled out. Good morning, brother. Gee, did you hear about the teachers in Pawtucket, Rhode Island? Did you hear about Pawtucket, Rhode Island? Now that well, it's a little town there, and they have 23 teachers. They're all in the slammer. We're probably about the most unproduced morning in town, I think. The only thing we produce really is the coffee, and then we kind of wing it from there. They're on strike over there, I think, against the kids.
Morning comes early for Brother James Grant Benton. He was a nightclub comedian for years with Booga Booga.
It took about 9 months for me to adjust. It was a whole switch of lifestyle, my friends, everything practically. It's a commitment, that's why to do morning radio. See, I get them.
Okay, no. Here we go. All right, ready?
Yep.
All righty.
Good morning, Uncle. Seems like the Monopool Man is more happening than the surf today, but if you're looking for surf, it's still happening in town. This is Earl with your KCCN Morning Surf Report. Sandy Beach, Diamond Head, and Ala Moana, all in the 1 to 3 foot range. Waikiki, Makaha, North Beach, and Makapu'u are 1 to 2. And out in the country, Sunset and Pipeline are flat to a foot. Winds are northeasterly today at 15 knots. No marine warnings in effect.
Brother and uncle began their morning teamwork almost by accident.
We started to do the news in the usual manner, like, here is the news, good morning. And he had his mic on, and so did I, and he questioned something and said, what? And we started to rap, and we've been doing it that way ever since, even though it's through the wall.
Ah! Okay! Just yelling into the back there for Uncle Phil there, and make sure I'm going to be doing some news right now, okay?
Honolulu Skylark is a mid-morning favorite among KCCN listeners.
I still don't even realize the audience impact that we have. I still feel like I'm talking to my friends.
With the Scoop of Boy, the music of the Kihei Brown Trio,
If you can talk to one person, then you can talk to your 64,000 listeners. Every day, radio is different. It changes so often. Your mood depends upon what you project on the air, how you perceive a phone call and take a request changes your whole spirit. You make what you want to out of radio.
One of the fringe benefits of those in Hawaiian radio is the food that friends bring by. It gives the feel of family to KCCN.
Yeah, the garlic adds flavor. Isn't that wonderful?
Mm-hmm. For those of you listening on the radio, I feel real sorry for you.
An extension of real Hawaii, I think. What any local family experiences, we try to project on the air.
But as Skylark remembers, breaking into radio was not easy for a female.
What is this female doing on the air? You howly, why are you sounding so howly? I didn't realize I was a local girl. I don't know. Over the years now they say you have one of the most beautiful voices in Hawaii. It's very odd. The same person 12 years ago told me get off the air. I don't. Although there's always been female disc jockeys in Hawaiian music. Some of Hawaii's greatest, Bina Mossman, Lena Machado, Napua Stevens.
Having been raised on Hawaiian music, Skylark sees Hawaiian radio as an integral part of local culture.
The music of Hawaii has always been the thread that has tied and bounded Hawaii to its land, its culture, and its people. Hawaiian radio has played an important part in that, in keeping its music alive.
Brickwood Galuteria follows Skylark in the KCCN lineup.
Aloha Awinala Hawaii'ne, and welcome to this, the Afternoon Club. I'm Brickwood Galuteria, your host until 7 o'clock tonight. Keep it right here. We got the finest in island music, entertainment. Kaniakua joins us in about an hour with the news of Hawaii and the world. And it's almost the start of Aloha Week 1985. Let's get into the festive mood. Got all kinds of onolicious food over here we're going to be sharing with everybody. So kick back and relax. And welcome to Station Aloha, KCCN.
Recording artist Audie Kimura was a special guest on Brickwood's Afternoon Club, as well as Dave Lancaster, who serves as KCCN's host for their live Monday night concerts.
Which came first, Audie or the car? Hey. That's a good question. I have to ask my mother. But Audie, now you are the melody. I am the harmony. Together we are one. You are the words. I am the music. We are the song. Waiting to be sung.
We ran into each other. Your award-winning song. You remember that, buddy? His award-winning song was previewed at about 1:30 or 1:45 in the morning on the biggest little nightclub in town here at KCCN.
We got the 85 Nahoku Hano Hano Award Male Vocalist of the Year, and we have the 84 Nahoku Hano Hano Male Vocalist of the Year.
But the 85 one is older than the 84 one, you know.
Hold it now. Wait a minute now. But where'd you go to? Put a hole, right?
Hey, come on, don't announce that on the radio.
Oh, that's no problem.
Oh, Brickwood.
No, listen now. Listen, we figured out a song, but I'm just going to sing the chorus with you.
Okay, that sounds good.
Who wrote this tune?
Kenny Loggins. This is the first song that I learned to sing. That's what. This is the song that made me give up my rock and roll. Remember, I used to be you wouldn't recognize me, electric guitar, twin reverb amp, and I used to play strictly rock and roll guitar. I used to play all Eric Clapton, Jefferson Airplane, Blue Cheer.
Oh yeah, I used to play a lot of Cream too, but I hardly recognize you now.
Yeah. I was, I'm such a young guy. That's why, you just. You're a lot older than me back then. Huh?
Thank you, Uncle Audie.
Hey, wow.
Here's a special for you, Audie Kimura.
I wanna sing you a love song.
The rare practice of live in-studio concerts is yet another reason for Hawaiian radio's popularity in Honolulu.
according to Wayne Harada's recent article, we're the #2 AM station in the market once again, as we were in our last rating period. Of course, behind the giant K59, KSSK.
Good morning. This is Hawaii's #1 radio station.
It's Perry on the left and Price on the right.
The team of Larry Price and Michael W. Perry compose the highest-rated morning radio program in Honolulu.
The morning team has to set the pace. It's when you have the most listeners, and it's when people are the most receptive to talk on the radio.
We don't put more effort at the beginning of the show or the end of the show or during the peak period of the show, which is between, say, like 6 and 8. We put just as much effort between 9 and 10. We just give it our all out. We figure people are going to be listening for about 20 minutes. So it takes a certain kind of psychological energy to do that.
Anything that you have to get up for at 3:30 in the morning becomes a very important part of your life. Well, at the Columbia Inn, we put together sort of a general outline for the day, knowing that outline may be thrown out in the first hour or even before that.
It's going to drive me crazy. Absolutely crazy. From what I've heard from the station, everybody's going through ham operators. And we can call Roy Show with Mars. And Roy can try to get through, but I imagine it's all emergency right now. We can call him anyway. What about the re-roll track? They didn't have either Jack Lord or a Playboy Bunny there, so it's probably not all that interesting.
Somebody roaring like a FBI agent.
Accountant.
Okay? I'm ready. You got the local stories. I'll do the thing. And I have the sports in with it.
Chance of...
Connoisseur, you got a laurel week, okay?
Paul Simon loves you like a rock.
Foremost time is about 2 minutes to 9 o'clock.
Telephone's ringing. Hi there.
This is Larry Price and Michael Perry at your service. Who's this?
K59's general manager, Earl McDaniel, is responsible for the creation of this morning team. He explains.
We had a disc jockey here named Aku for 18 years. And when he died, he was the end of an era. And we did a great deal of research. And we determined that whomever we put in that show, everybody would hate because they loved Aku so much. So we decided to put 2 people in so they could hate one and love the other.
It's time 4 minutes to 10 o'clock. Next time your tummy asks you for something really delicious to eat, try a big scoop of Foremost Big Dip Ice Milk. There, I said it.
It's 9:56. Hello there.
Hi, did you get me?
No, you're it.
But the opposite happened. They turned out loving both of them.
When 2 people get together like Mike and I, who are completely different in a lot of respects, as far as background, location, education, when we get together, we do form a third person that neither one of us are really aware of.
First guy is the rough one. Hello
The
there.
first guy is Dick Clark.
No. Think Paul and Dick Clark couldn't crack an egg with his best blow. This guy's a macho dude. This is, he's sort of a macho dude. Used to be a macho dude. Yeah. He used to be a lot of things. What's your guess, please?
Is it Benny Goodman? No.
Earl McDaniels is the one that deals with that third person.
Everybody has to have somebody to look up to. I had a telephone call on the air yesterday. A lady was complaining about something in the school system. And Michael W. Perry said, well, why are you calling me? He said, well, my friend said that if anybody could do anything about it, you could. And that's the kind of impression they have with the audience, and it works. It's kind of frightening, as a matter of fact. They seem to know what each other is thinking and doing, and I'm a little worried about it.
Number 2 will take 4 first, thank you. Number 3 will take 4 first, thank you. Good morning.
Mike Love and Danny Noy.
You're in the right group. Good morning.
Yes, I have a guess.
Yeah.
Is it Brian Wilson and Danny Noy?
Did you say Brian Wilson and Danny Noy?
Yes.
Let's find out.
I don't know.
Never again be the same. Yeah, that kind of spacey sound is Brian Wilson, and that was definitely Danny Noy. How would you like to go to the Little Anthony Merriwell's concert?
I'd love to go to it.
What's your name?
Shannon Vandervoort,
From what part of town?
Hawaii Kai.
If someone's hyperventilating in the back there, you
That's
protect
my mother and our next door neighbor.
Outstanding. Good. You hold on. We'll make sure that all happens.
Ratings are very consistent on this radio station. We've been #1 for 18 years, and but it's a battle every day. you go out and you might lose today, but you better win big tomorrow.
One of the most popular features of the Price Perry Show is their Saturday morning program at Champo's. Here they broadcast to their largest radio audience of the week.
We're going to play $1 million music, and then we're going to have a very exciting, dynamic, sensual guest. I think Champo's is something really unique because we go down there, it's 3 hours of unscripted ad-lib radio live, and there's not a lot of room for error, and it does add a different dimension to radio, because it gives you a kind of a feedback. It's one of the few times in radio where you can actually see the people that you're talking to, and then you see the consequence.
Special guest Loyal Garner was on hand to provide a patriotic hymn. An evaluation meeting is held after every show.
Just tell them it's you and they may believe that.
Into the den.
The door is open. This means something.
Hey! What? It's the Morning Stars. Well, I heard your last show, and it may have been. Okay, I know you've got to go do a TV show today, Mike. There's 3 things to go over very fast. Burger King, you know the Burger King mugs? They want an MC for their Christmas party with the Rascals, either December 7th or December the 14th. Any volunteers?
We're going to take a vote on this?
Okay. Well, you guys cost me $52,000 this morning. You got this new sponsor, the House of Music, which you gave a Densa award to. Did you do that?
For what?
Dumb, insipid, nerd-like society to a $52,000 sponsor.
I can't imagine you did that.
It's one of Larry's worst actions of all time, I think.
Come on, you guys, give me a break.
No, did we really do that?
I got the tape coming. The lawyers will be on the way in a half hour, you know, and the legislature is going to go into session.
I did my Magnum the other night. That's all true, by the way. The guy said I had the best voice for describing hurricanes that he has ever heard.
Did you give him a Denso award?
No, he's not a sponsor.
The other day I stuck the car key in the front door by mistake. The house stalled, so I got some jumper cables. Tried it again, it started up. Drove it around for a while. Cops stopped me, asked where I lived. I said, right here. I parked in the freeway, told everybody to get out of my driveway. I mean, comedy is a disease. Luckily, it's incurable. You start getting a case of the hovering ha-has around friends and it spreads. Sometimes you get the snarking, snacking giggles and you can't stop. That's good.
And you want me to sell soap, super stupidity? I'll do it. Yes, sir. I'm your boy. Right here. Hello, Stuart Pitt here. My friends call me Stu. Buy this product. It's invisible. I'll sell it to you for free.
Did I get the job?
When you tell your story, make sure your story's right. Every little